Today in Review This Thing, we're going to compare these 5 Bino harnesses. This is Adrian with Review This Thing, and if you have been looking for a new Bino harness, then hopefully this video is going to help you out. In alphabetical order, we have the Eberlestock Recon Modular Bino Pack, FHF Gear FOB Bino Pouch, the Marsupial Gear Standard Bino Chest Pack, the Sitka Flash Optics Harness, and the Vortex Glass Pack Pro Bino Harness. Some we bought, some we borrowed, and some were given to us by the manufacturers. But as always, that never impacts our ability to tell you what we really think. If you have a Bino harness you really like, or actually if you really hate it, comment below and let us know which one and why that is. And if you are interested in any of these, there's going to be a link in the description to each one, so make sure you check it out there. Let's go ahead and review these things. We're going to cover the main things that matter to us. That's fit and function, and then we're going to give you our final thoughts. When you're out there climbing, crawling, potentially running, it's important your Bino harness fit you properly so it's not flopping around the whole time. Some of the websites list different sizes. The Sitka gear is talking about the size of the harness. They only have one size Bino pouch. The others are referencing the size of the pouch based on the size of your binoculars. But Marsupial Gear does have the option to request an extra large harness if that's something that you need. Because they are one size fits most, they all have a ton of adjustability in the straps. But they do have some limits as to how big and small they can go. I'm 5'4", about 135 pounds, and the only two I could get small enough for me were the Marsupial Gear and the FHF Gear. And there was still some strap left if you're smaller than me. The others are great, I just couldn't get them sized down enough for me. So jumping, bending, they're going to give too much movement. Now, if I had on several layers for a cold weather hunt, they could all probably fit, but I want something that's going to work in all seasons. Robbie is 5'10", about 185, and all of the harnesses fit him differently, but they can all be adjusted so that they are fairly comfortable. And there's still plenty of room left in the straps if you're quite a bit larger than him. Now let's move on to function. I've already touched on this some, but you do need to know what binos you're going to carry before you buy your harness. And that's because if they're too big, then your pouch isn't going to close. Each website has internal height measurements. Several of them also have sizing charts so you can compare binos. So I would say either figure out the size of your binos and buy accordingly, or figure out what size binos will fit in the harness you want and go from there. As far as the function of the Bino pouch itself, they all have one-handed operation, so you're not going to have to put your gun or your bow down to open them and close them. All of them except for the Sitka harness open forward. The Eberlestock and Marsupial Gear fold all the way out, which is nice because it completely clears the material. But I also like the kind of half fold that the Vortex and the FHF Gear do. On this standard Marsupial Gear, the sides are not enclosed, but they do have a fully enclosed version as well. All of the others are going to completely cover them, except if you have bigger binos in the Sitka harness. The FHF Gear, Eberlestock, and Marsupial Gear use magnets to keep the lid closed and open, which is nice because they're pretty strong and you don't have to worry about the lid accidentally opening or closing. Marsupial Gear does have a magnet-free version if you have a pacemaker. Sitka uses an elastic hook with 2 different size options, and Vortex went with a shape tension design for their lid. This is probably the one thing we don't really like about this Vortex Bino harness. When it's full, especially with bigger binos, we found it difficult to get that lid to close and stay closed. If they had gone with a lid design similar to these other ones, that would probably be Robbie's favorite. As far as the profile of it, they're all pretty much the same except for the Sitka, and it does stick out a little bit further. Inside, they are all lined with soft material to protect your binos, and on the outside, all the material feels pretty rugged, like they're going to withstand some pretty fun backcountry adventures. The Vortex Glass Pack is the only one that advertises being water resistant. The others may be, but they don't mention it specifically on the websites. As far as how quiet the material is, the Vortex is definitely the softest and quietest. The Sitka and Eberlestock are a pretty close second. The FHF Gear is next, and then the loudest is definitely the Marsupial Gear. They all have outside pockets, including a slide pocket in the back that we mostly use for our phones. The FHF Gear and Eberlestock are the main two we can actually fit our phones in when there's binoculars in them. The others are either too tight or just take a whole lot of finagling to get it in and out. The Sitka does not have a zippered pocket on the front like the others. It does have one on the back. Of course, the Eberlestock is the only front pocket that really has enough room to actually put things in and out easily. And the FHF Gear is the only one that doesn't have side elastic pockets. All of the others have them that are at least large enough for a wind checker bottle. Of course, your lens cloth can also fit in there. And speaking of lens cloth, the Sitka does have included lens cloth inside that's attached. One of the main attractions to all of these Bino harnesses is the modularity. If all you're looking for is a Bino pouch, you can go that way. But you can also add a ton of accessories because of the MOLLE webbing these all have. On each, you're going to find it on both sides, either on the pouch itself or on the side panels. It's also on all of the bottoms except for the Eberlestock Recon, which instead uses a Velcro system on the back. The Sitka does come with a rangefinder pouch, but I didn't see any other accessories on their website. However, any of these or other MOLLE accessories should work. All of these other companies have a lot of accessories available. You have the rangefinder pouches, zipper pouches, holders for bear spray, ammo, and pistol holsters. And all of them are compatible to attach a hand muff for those really cold days. Plus, the FHF Gear has those optional side panels if you'd rather not attach things directly to your pouch. Now for the harness. The FHF Gear and Marsupial Gear are mainly just straps, while the Sitka, Eberlestock, and Vortex all have a back panel. All those panels have breathable mesh, but it's still going to make you sweat more than just the straps alone. Eberlestock did add more MOLLE webbing to that back panel, so you could potentially use other attachments if you wanted. The FHF Gear is the only one that does not come with the harness because they have that option, or you can buy a kit to attach it to your pack instead. The unfortunate part is both of those cost extra. Since I can only wear the FHF Gear and the Marsupial, I compare to those harnesses. The Marsupial Gear is comfortable, but I do prefer the padding and mesh on the straps of the airframe harness for the FHF Gear over just the straps on Marsupial. I'm afraid that over time might cut into me a little bit more. Robbie, on the other hand, got all of them to fit. So for comfort and function, he had a better comparison. Because he wore the Eberlestock all of last year, he's more used to that mesh back panel. So he doesn't feel as comfortable in the FHF Gear and Marsupial Gear. To him, he felt like the Marsupial Gear was even a little bit more comfortable than the FHF Gear. The Sitka harness with the wings on the front and each corner of the back, he felt like it just sat better against him. As far as the Vortex and Eberlestock, he said they're pretty neck and neck as to comfort and fit. Now for our final thoughts. Of course, price is also going to be a factor in what you choose. So as we share our final thoughts, I'm going to go in order from lowest cost to highest. The Marsupial Gear standard is $105 and does not come with any accessories. The pros are, we like that it can be adjusted small enough to fit me. The strap configuration probably isn't going to get as hot. The fold-out lid, magnets, and side pockets are a plus, and it is made in the USA, which is always huge. Plus, it has a lifetime warranty. The main con is that this really rugged material is not the quietest, and the standard isn't fully enclosed. Next, the Vortex Glass Pack Pro retails for $129. For that price, it does include a rangefinder pouch. It is super quiet, and Robbie says it's extremely comfortable, and it's going to have Vortex's VIP warranty. The only con is the lids. If they reconfigured the Bino pouch and rangefinder lids to be more like the FHF Gear Eberlestock, this one might be the perfect setup. And then my only con is that I can't get it small enough. Next is the Eberlestock Recon at $139. So because of what we mentioned, the Eberlestock is Robbie's favorite. The lids are easy to use and secure. The material is really quiet and incredibly comfortable. And Eberlestock also has a lifetime warranty. As far as cons, it doesn't come with any accessories and it uses that Velcro instead of MOLLE on the bottom, which does limit your non-Eberlestock accessory options. Next, we have the FHF Gear FOB at $140. This one is definitely my favorite because I can get it to fit me perfectly. The harness is comfortable. I like that fold-out magnetized lid, and I'm really excited to try it attached directly to my pack. Also made in the USA, and it has a lifetime warranty. The main drawback is that it does not come with the harness, so that's going to cost extra. And finally, we have the Sitka harness at $169. It does come with a rangefinder pouch. The material is very quiet. The built-in wings seem to spread out the pressure more, and the quick release system is really easy to use once you figure it out. The main cons are that it does sit further away from your chest, and Sitka doesn't have additional accessories, but like we mentioned, all the others are going to work just fine. All of these are great Bino harnesses, so it's really going to come down to what you're looking for, how much you want to pay, and how they fit. So which one is your favorite? If it's one of these or a different one, make sure you comment below and let us know. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, make sure you give us that thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and comment and tell us what you think. If you haven't and you really like what we do, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. We have a new video every single Sunday. And in case you didn't know, we also have a website, reviewthisthingtv.com. Lots of great info and lots of great deals. But most importantly, thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching our Bino harness comparison video. While you're here, like it, comment, share it with your friends. Head over to our website, reviewthisthingtv.com, and subscribe to our newsletter. Also, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our great videos. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X.